So many people think that if you ask a person if they're having thoughts of suicide or self-harm or ending their lives, that you'll give them an idea that they are not already having. That is absolutely false. One of the most important things you can do if you think someone may be struggling or having thoughts of self-harm or suicide is to ask that person outright, are you having thoughts of hurting yourself? Or ending your life. And if they say yes, the next question should be, do you have a plan? And then you should absolutely get that person emergency medical care. Do not leave that person alone. Reinforce that there is always hope and help available. Another big myth is that if someone's life objectively looks like it's going well, someone's successful, someone's beautiful, attractive, famous, wealthy, you name it, that if they have it all, they can't possibly be at risk for suicide. We need to be crystal clear on this. Mental illness does not discriminate. So we really can't go by what's externally facing to have a good appreciation for what someone may be dealing with behind the scenes, so to speak. Another myth that unfortunately exists are that people who contemplate suicide or who die by suicide are selfish or are weak. I think the way to look at this is if someone loses their life to cancer, we don't consider that person to be a failure. We don't consider that person to be selfish or weak. And I think that mental illness or death by suicide has to be looked at the same way. We wouldn't blame someone for dying of cancer, and therefore we shouldn't blame someone for living with mental illness or dying from mental illness. So think that suicide occurs without warning. While it absolutely can look like that to the people who are left behind, I know it did when suicide struck my family. In retrospect, when you look back, there are almost always signs. They may not be the common signs, they may not be the classic signs. That doesn't mean that it's anyone's fault if they didn't pick up on those signs. But I think it should be encouraging to all of us that we need to be observant with the people in our lives, and we need to remember that a lot of people are struggling behind a very stoic, cheery facade, and really taking the time to ask someone, how are you doing? Really, how are you doing? And if they're struggling, to emphasize to that person repeatedly, time and time again, I'm sorry you're in pain, I hear your pain, I see your pain, there is hope and there is help available, and this will not last forever. And if you or someone you know is struggling with thoughts of self-harm or suicide, help is available by calling 988. It is confidential, it is free, it is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.